Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us once again for Marriage Talk, a live Q&A with Tim and Ally. I'm Tim Nicholas.
I'm Ally Nicholas.
What's up, y'all? Hey, Happy New Year to you guys. Happy 2024 to each and every one of you. We pray that your 2024 has started off great, gotten off to a great start. We are blessed that we have good health. We have our home. We're blessed. And so from that aspect, we have each other. Our kids are in good spirits. And so we're definitely blessed and constantly working to get to the next level, of course. But we wanted to just come on and just talk to you guys. And, we threw it back out there. So we back by popular demand. So let's get it in, y'all.
Oh, questions.
So as always, y'all know how we do, man. Go ahead and join the conversation. Comment below. We'd love to hear your feedback on some of the questions that we received. So, definitely always be interactive because we always looking and seeing what you guys are saying so that we can always come back and chop it up with y'all. So definitely be interactive with us today. So grab your coffee, your breakfast, your favorite mug, and get by the couch, and we just gonna have some marriage talk because as we started this back in October early this year, and we just saw the need not only just within our circle of friends and family, but just overall how marriages are suffering. And we just said, let's just come on and just kind of just chop it up and talk, and just we're two authentic people that come from a good place. So we just want to see other marriages thrive and be a leading example of that. And so we got some questions that were given to us. We like to come in and talk about them and just kind of you guys get our perspective and go from there. What you thinking, baby? What's your thoughts?
No thoughts. Let's just go.
Well, earlier today, we live in the Grand Prairie area in Texas, and I wanted to shout out my boy real quick, Kevin L.O.C.S. He's doing this thing with other married men in the community. Shout out to him. We just left PJ's Coffee in Grand Prairie off of Beltline. I'm telling y'all, it's like a New Orleans staple. They had these amazing beignets. The coffee is good, so definitely check them out if you are in the area for sure. But Kev, shout out to you, man. Thank you for having me this morning. All right, so we're gonna dive in, y'all. So we had some questions come through, and we just gonna talk about them and just kind of hear our perspective, and then just chime in from there. So the first question that we have is pretty interesting, but it was, what do you find most attractive in each other?
You first.
What do I find most attractive in my wife? Well, other than being the beautiful and fine specimen that you are, because this woman is fine, for real. But what I find most attractive with Ally is just her heart. Like, she has a just huge heart. She loves kids. She loves people. She's a people person. And she's actually my balance in that aspect because I've been pretty social throughout my own life and things like that. But throughout the pandemic, I started to develop like social anxiety. And so what she's definitely been in my life is more the balance on coming out of that and being more, not friendly, because I feel like I'm friendly, but just being more open to, conversations and friendships and things like that. So, and I get that from her, but also just the love that she has for the kids. I tell her that all the time. She the crown jewel with that. So, yeah.
My turn?
Yeah.
And thank you, baby. You're so sweet.
No
What do I find the most attractive about Tim? Probably just the willingness to make everything better, like teamwork. It's very genuine. I guess it's similar to your answer. You're so loving, and intentions are always in the right place. Like, you don't try to hurt me, other people on purpose. You talk through things. It's just refreshing to have someone so healthy. So that's what I like the most. You're just healthy overall and fun to be around. Like, I just wake up happy in the morning and always want to be around you. So yeah, everything.
Well, thank you, baby. That definitely made me good to kind of kick this off the start of the year. um, but yeah, that's dope. I mean, just the love we have for each other is definitely second to none. So I appreciate being able to experience this with you for sure.
Thank you.
Got another question. Interestingly, do you like to wine and dine in a quiet place or hit a nightclub?
That's easy for me. Wine and dine in a quiet place. I don't think we have ever been to a nightclub together. I don't think I've been to a nightclub in a long time, just overall. So, yeah, wine and dine for sure.
People still call them nightclubs. That's what they call lounges now. But no, yeah, I would prefer the same thing, winding down in a quiet place, or like we can go listen to some music and live music and stuff, and go to a lounge or something. But I prefer the quiet time and be able to reconnect.
But honestly, we don't do either one of these. Like we get out and actually do activities and try different things. We explore.
We have explored different things, museums, breaking breaking stuff in like the break fix place in Houston. We've done a lot of stuff.
We have
Cider
different
cave.
arcades. That's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah, yeah. So it'd be fun. Got to make it fun for sure. Ooh, this is a nice one. Do you have the passcodes to each other's phone?
People be so nosy. People be so nosy.
Do you have the passcodes to each other's phone?
I'll let you answer that, baby. First.
Yes. Yeah, we have each other's passcodes to each other's phone. And I mean, there's times with us, like there's times we need to go in each other's phones for certain things or different things and stuff. And it's like, we go into it. So, and this, of course, is not like an invasive thing. It's
Right.
not like we're looking for something to find because we're suspicious, but it's just we're just partners in this thing we do together. So from the jump, since we've been dating, we have had each other's passcodes.
He got the passcodes to the phone. The kids got the passcodes to the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is super open. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Letitia, how you doing this morning? It looks like we have a comment. You said Eddie V's. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. What was that last place that we went though on Thanksgiving? I like that place. What was that?
Thanksgiving was that was Morton's a steakhouse.
Okay, yeah.
No, that was different. No, Eddie V's has this. I'm showing my sweet side. Y'all know how I like sweets. You know how from the story with the finding the bags and the couch and everything else.
Candy everywhere.
Candy everywhere. So I have a sweet tooth. So Eddie V's has this butter cake, but you put banana Foster's cream, like banana Foster's goes on it, and they flambe it. I guess if this whole little
good.
thing, it's really good. So Letitia, that's a good one on Eddie V's. So.
Speaking of sweets on the couch, baby, you left all them cookies on the couch.
I didn't leave.
He tried to kill our dog, y'all.
I didn't leave. There wasn't.
There.
It was one cookie I left on the chair, but it wasn't a whole bunch of cookies. It was a box, and he wasn't gonna go in the box. When would he go in the box? He wouldn't know what's in there. But you're right. I did kind of leave that out. All right. So, looking back on your life, what have you done that has given you the most satisfaction? I'll let you answer that first.
We asking some interesting questions. Looking back on my life, what have I done that has given me the most satisfaction? Grow as a person, develop a stronger relationship with God, work on myself, continuously work on myself, and I get satisfaction in pouring into my family and focusing on home. That's been awesome lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely gives me the most satisfaction too. Is like the individual things prior to the marriage were great. Like those things were great, right? But I think when you find your purpose in life, which I know my purpose is tied around taking care of my family. My purpose is within like connecting with people and building, building people up. I know that that's my purpose, but I wouldn't have fully discovered that without you. So, like, that's the most like marriage has been one of the most satisfying things in life, and doing it the right way is very satisfying too. Um, so I would say that's one of the biggest things because everything else falls under that, the umbrella with the kids and seeing them thrive and stuff. That's most satisfying too. So yeah, that's really it for me.
Thank you, baby.
Dope, dope. All right. So this one is pretty interesting because we're talking about, can both people be right in the middle of like a disagreement and something like that, or if you're if you have a disagreement, can two things be true, right? So can both people be right in the middle of a disagreement? Actually, yes. It is. It two things can be true in marriage, and so there were a few things that I even started looking up around this question on how some things can be true, and so I guess we can kind of walk through this. So it could be true that, like, for example, one partner has to work on how they perceive things as an attack to defend against. But what's also true is that the other can work on timing and being mindful of how tone can sound like a reprimand. That's big.
That's huge.
Where do we start with that one?
I mean, to be completely transparent, we had to work through and talk through that one because I think I am or have gotten better with initially not getting offended or coming off defensive whenever certain things were discussed. And so that's true.
Yeah.
But the saying of it's not what you say, it's how you say it is also true. So yeah.
I would agree. Um, I would also say, like you said, where you've gotten better with not being defensive. I know I've needed to get better on how I say things. So being fully transparent and honest, what Ali would say to me, especially early on in our relationship, was it always seems like you calling me to the principal's office, like I'm about to be reprimanded. And I had to really examine myself, examine the way I would speak to her, and the times she would call me out about, hey, you're not going to talk to me like a child, even though I would never intend to. But tone does matter, and it does matter, and I had to make sure that I was still remaining respectful at all times, and you slip and fall in those moments at times, even in the heat of disagreements and stuff. That's going to happen in marriage. We're all human, and we all learning that. But those both can be true. It's like, okay, I may not intend to say something that is to be divisive, but at the same time, my tone could make it be divisive. So I feel you on that.
Because I mean, yeah, a lot of the times you were right in what you were saying. So
Just how I would say it.
yeah.
That's real. And even kind of continuing in that, and that happens in all of our situations. It's just we got to understand, if you really committed to working on these things, then you gotta find a way to work through them together and say, this is the problem, let's attack the solution together, right? So two more things that can be true in your marriage. So what's true is your spouse could have said harmful things during the argument that need to be acknowledged. But what's also true is you also participated in things escalating and have to clean things up. That's a big one too.
Like, this is tough.
Phew.
Okay, so I haven't experienced this with us, but I have been in relationships in the past where no one knew when to de-escalate the situation and stop. It was basically like we were trying to one up each other. Like, okay, you said this to me. I'm gonna say this to you to hurt your feelings. You do this to me. I'm gonna do this to you to hurt your, that and toxic. And I am so grateful. Thank you, Jesus, to be in a marriage where it's a real partnership. Like we care about the situation being healthy. It's more on a how can we resolve this, and we have good boundaries not to say hurtful things during arguments. The intent is never to hurt your feelings. I think I would honestly cry if I hurt your feelings. I think I have cried from hurting your feelings. So when you genuinely love someone and care about their well-being, you don't intentionally say things. And when you do say things that you don't mean, definitely um, damage control. Like apologize and say what you meant.
That's good. That's good. And it's true. I know that, like, fortunately, we haven't had a lot of those situations where we continue to escalate situations, but I've definitely been a part of those toxic relationships too, and I feel like those have been good lessons learned on how to handle you as my wife, not to continue to escalate the situation, but we both try to do damage control before it gets to that point because we listen. We all know what our breaking points are, and it's important to know your partner's breaking point too. And I think we both have know what our breaking points are to not continue to escalate. And you got to do things to safeguard yourself from those moments. Stepping away. We are pretty quick to say, hey, I'm gonna take a drive or take a walk or something, and we honor those moments even when they are challenging, so it doesn't escalate. So it's like when you put yourself in those positions, you don't lose respect for one another, because when you keep escalating and hurting the other person, of course respect's going to get lost, because it's all about now that hurt is there. You trying to hurt me, so now I'm gonna try to hurt you, and then where's the respect at? And fortunately, that's not us, but we've been in those situations to know how not to handle one another. So that's a blessing.
Questions.
Got some questions coming through. See, Tim Brandon, what's up, man? Y'all are one of my favorite married couples. We really appreciate that. That's humbling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Brittany and Rodriguez Brown, what's up? How y'all doing? It says, what if you have a spouse that is always bragging about himself as if he doesn't have any flaws, as places himself on a high pedestal and makes the other person feel like they're not good enough and they can do no wrong? I hope I'm explaining this right. Yeah, I get it. You want me to start or you start?
You can start, baby. I'll follow up.
Okay. Really, if you have a spouse that's always bragging about himself and puts himself on a high pedestal, at the end of the day, you can't change him. You just have to consistently pray for him, for starters, that God will soften his heart. God will humble him, and you have to constantly be in prayer for that type of change, because that's all internal. There's nothing you can do about that, but it's frustrating, I'm sure, and it's disheartening when that person doesn't acknowledge their flaws and they want to always put those flaws onto you. Those are narcissistic traits, to be honest, and if not dealt with from a heart level, it's going to potentially get worse. That's just the reality of things when you are dealing with someone who cannot be remorseful in their own sin, about their own sin, and about their own character flaws, because we all have them. Even if we're good people, we all have flaws in ourselves that need correcting and need fixing, and God is the only one that can do those things, that can make those changes. So that's where I would start. That's my opinion on that. But keep going. I know it's not easy being with someone that views themselves highly in that manner. So I know it's challenging from a woman's perspective. What's your thoughts?
Yes, definitely agree with the prayer part, because, again, to reiterate, you can't change anyone. And in addition to that, just set proper boundaries. Whatever you can do to change and fix the things that you can change, by all means, do those things. And what you can't control, pray and try not to stress about it. And when you focus on yourself and your internal stuff and what you can control, your environment and the things and people in your environment start to shift too. So, yeah, start with you.
It's real. It's real. Yeah, that's got to be a tough situation too. Like living with someone on a daily basis who may not apologize for anything that may make their spouse feel upset about. To kind of like to be in that situation, it's got to be hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so definitely be praying for you out there for sure. Well, honestly, I think this is kind of a short one because kind of these were kind of questions we had, y'all. So this was kind of a good start to the year, just to kind of engage with y'all today. We really appreciate it. So, you got any final thoughts yourself?
No, it's been nice. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm about to make my husband ask my husband to take me out somewhere. If y'all have any suggestions, drop them suggestions below.
Oh man, whatever. Wait, okay, so we got a quick follow-up question from Brittany and Rodriguez. So she says, also, what is your advice on your spouse calling their mom or family member when there's a disagreement on the marriage and always telling our married business or always wanting to pack their things when things get tough in the marriage? This is very easy, and I'll let you take it.
Nah, you got the answer. You got the answer.
Oh man, this is a good one. It's simple. It's out of order. Completely out of order for either spouse to take marriage issues to the family. It completely changes the perception of the person that you're talking about and you're going to. So that, if the son's going to the mom and vice versa, either way, it changes the perception of things. Once you bring your family into your business, it's very hard to get them out. It's very hard, but it should stay in. I mean, this is what leave and cleave is all about in the Bible. Is once we get married, we are removed from mom and dad's care from that aspect, and we have to create something with our spouse and God. And all problems and things, they need to stay within the marriage. They need to stay within marriage, within God, within counseling, to have those good, lasting changes. As long as you're willing to do the work, but bringing family into the situation only creates more problems, more drama, more division as well, and it's just not good. So that's my thing.
I agree with everything that you just said. uh, in addition to the fact that no matter how you explain a situation, the what people say is three sides to every story is very much so true. There's no amount of detail that you could give someone to make them be able to fix your situation. So work it out with your spouse. And again, God, counseling has been a blessing. We talk about that all the time. Consistent counseling, having someone to mediate and see both sides and be there from both perspectives in an unbiased way, much better than telling family and friends who may not be so quick to forgive things that you and your spouse work out. And everybody does not give sound advice. So to take, advice from someone who has drama going on, their relationship is not going so well, they don't communicate well, you see them disrespect their spouse, they got things going on in their household, and you take your drama to them, like, it's not going to get you anywhere. So keep it at home.
Yeah. She also said, it's him always going to his mom, and he often takes his ring off when things get tough. Now, we not out here, uh, trying to air nobody's business or nothing like that. But at the same time, we can say with that situation, um, when you do things like take your ring off or threaten divorce or threaten separation, all those things, when you do that, you are really taking away the security of your marriage every time that happens. That person cannot be comfortable growing with you if they always feel like you're not going to be around if there's instability in the marriage. So doing those things by taking your ring off, threatening divorce, that those things are counterproductive to what the mission is for marriage, which is to grow closer to Christ and to be more holy. You can't do that if you constantly are trying to come from under his cover in the marriage. It can't happen. And so just from that aspect, it's very sad that we do that. We threaten people's security in that way because we're upset in a situation, and it's just not right.
Yeah. Marriage is about commitment. And what you said, security. Got to have the security to even want to remain committed, to be honest. Like, I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. And pray for the mama too.
Definitely.
Yeah, pray for the mama too.
Kayla, what's up? We see you out there out in Facebook land. How you doing, sis? But yeah, definitely be praying for you and your husband as well, and we pray for the mom too, like she said. So, but yeah, I think that's kind of it. Just want to thank you guys for joining. We'll be seeing you guys real soon. As always, we thank you guys for being interactive today, continuing to join the conversation. We just like to come on here, give you a little bit of light in marriages and just try to support that movement, because if you guys see what's going on, man, one thing I've been seeing a lot of is more polygamous and polyandry type of relationships being in place. And I, for one, don't agree with it, but I know it's in different cultures and I respect it. But I also know what our Bible says too, which is, hey, God joined man and woman together. So it's a lot of craziness going on. We just want to support what God says about marriage each and every day. And it's not easy. And, he's using two imperfect people like us to make sure that we just follow the right things that we're doing. So happy to do this with you.
I'm happy to do it with you too.
All right. Well,
feed me, baby.
All right. Well, we got to go because my wife is like a Taurus. She eats everything like a walrus. So we going to be out. So love y'all. Take it easy. And we going to keep it going. But we'll definitely be commenting soon. So take care, y'all. Be blessed.